I think it's odd that Shedeur hasn't had a single snap of practice rep. Yes, but I don't think it's something where everyone's making it out to be like, oh my gosh, he should be splitting the reps with Dillon Gabriel.
Splitting is maybe too strong a word. I hear what you're saying, but
he's running the scout team. You're a backup quarterback. Obviously, you would run the scout team, right?
So if he's running the scout team, how is the offensive line not hurt his cadence?
I don't know.
Not many guys in the NFL can make throws like him. And after, Stefanski still went on and was indecisive. Let's see. He just said, I'm not going to get into that.
The quarterback chaos in Northeast Ohio is officially on pause, at least for another week. No confusion, no guessing games, no we'll see. Coach Kevin Stefanski laid it all out straight on Monday afternoon. After one fiery, messy, but totally exciting debut, rookie Shedeur Sanders is holding on to that ball again. Sunday belonged to Shedeur. He owned the spotlight in a 24-10 road victory over the Las Vegas Raiders, and by Monday, he wasn't just part of the story. He became the headline. The buzz all over town, this could be the franchise's future. Stefanski confirmed that the 5th-round pick will start once again this Sunday at home against the San Francisco 49ers, and fans can't stop talking about it. Even though fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel has cleared concussion protocol and is healthy enough to suit up, Stefanski made his choice loud and clear. In a city worn out by endless quarterback switches, just having this kind of clarity feels like breaking news. The number one job of a quarterback is to win, Coach Stefanski said firmly, doubling down on the rookie he just handed the keys to. So excited to get that first win under his belt, and the next thing is improvement. That's what young players, especially young quarterbacks, do. You get one game better, and that comes from working at it. Translation, Shedeur Sanders earned himself another start, fair and square. Now it's time to prove that his spark wasn't just a one-week miracle. Sure, the box score from Sunday doesn't exactly scream franchise savior, but the energy on the field and inside that locker room told a whole different story. Shedeur finished 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception in his very first NFL start. On paper, that's decent, not flashy, but the meaning behind it, huge. He made history as the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut since Eric Zaire back in 1995. That snapped an ugly 17-game losing streak in matchups where Cleveland started a quarterback making his first career start. For a franchise that's burned through 42 different starting quarterbacks since 1999, this win hit different. It wasn't just another game. It was a statement. And in Cleveland, that matters. Moving forward, it wasn't just that Shedeur Sanders won. It was how he did it. The rookie showed crazy poise in the pocket, stood tall under pressure, and only took 1 sack all game. He wasn't scared to air it out either, slinging the ball downfield in ways the Browns just hadn't seen with Dillon Gabriel under center. That 52-yard bomb to rookie wideout Isaiah Bond was the kind of throw that makes a whole coaching staff lean forward in the film room. Rolling out with his eyes locked downfield, Shedeur dropped an absolute dime. A tough high-difficulty throw that hit perfectly over tight coverage. That single pass finally unlocked the deep speed Browns fans had been waiting to see all season. The big plays downfield, Stefanski said, pinpointing exactly what set this version of Cleveland's offense apart from the one fans had grown numb to. Obviously, the ball to Bond was a very, very high degree of difficulty. Are there things he can do better? Absolutely. We've already talked about that with him, but he's got the mindset to adjust to the game's speed and to what defenses are showing us. And then came the play that blew up social media. What started as a simple dump-off turned into a 66-yard lightning strike. His first ever NFL touchdown might have been recorded as a screen 6 yards behind the line. But once running back, Dylan Sampson caught it in stride and sliced through the Raiders' defense. The crowd went wild. The rookie-to-rookie magic was real. By the time the dust settled, Shedeur Sanders had turned from a 5th-round curiosity into Cleveland's new obsession. The locker room buzzed like never before, with players saying the energy just felt different. Even the veterans were talking about how calm and confident the rookie looked when everything got chaotic on the field. Reporters asked Stefanski if there was any hesitation about giving Shedeur another start, and he didn't flinch. He earned it, the coach said sharply. The kid handled himself like a pro. That's what stood out. Those words hit hard in a city that's seen its fair share of broken quarterback dreams. For once, Cleveland fans finally had a reason to believe something fresh might actually be building here. What really has people talking, though, is Shedeur's swagger. He's not arrogant. He's composed, confident, and locked in. Teammates have been saying he walks like he's already been here. That quiet confidence is contagious, and it's spilling over into the whole offense. Still, Everyone knows one hot game doesn't make a career. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers, a defense that punishes mistakes and exposes weak spots fast. The city's watching closely to see if Shedeur's story keeps climbing or if the league's top defense will humble him. Either way, all eyes are on Cleveland this weekend because right now, this rookie has the Browns believing in something they haven't had in years: hope. All week long, Cleveland has been buzzing. Everywhere you go, barbershops, sports bars, even office break rooms, people are talking about Shedeur Sanders. The kid's name is lighting up group chats and fan pages nonstop. But make no mistake, Sunday's matchup against the San Francisco 49ers isn't just another game, it's the ultimate test. The 49ers defense is a different kind of monster. They bring pressure from every angle, and they don't care how many highlights you dropped last week. Shedeur's pocket patience and quick reads are about to be pushed harder than ever before. He's calm, but this will show what he's really made of, one Browns player reportedly said, hyping up the rookie showdown. Inside the Browns facility, there's a sense of cautious excitement. Coaches know the 49ers can expose any weakness in seconds, but they also know Shedeur's mindset. Fearless and unshaken, he doesn't blink, Stefanski told reporters, sounding more like a proud mentor than a worried coach. That statement alone turned into headlines overnight. Fans, meanwhile, are daring to dream big again. They've seen too many quarterbacks come and go, but this time feels different. The kid has command, energy, and a bit of that unteachable spark, something Cleveland hasn't seen in decades. Everyone's waiting to see if Shedeur can silence the doubters one more time and prove that last week wasn't a lucky break. It was the start of a movement. Game day hit different in Cleveland. The air was thick with energy, the crowd roaring like it was a playoff night, and all eyes were locked on Shedeur Sanders. Cameras followed his every move as he jogged onto the field. Calm as ever, headset on, ready for war. You could feel the tension. Fans weren't just hoping for a win. They were waiting to see if the hype was real. From the jump, the San Francisco 49ers came hunting. Their defense hit fast, hard, and relentless, testing Shedeur's composure on every snap. He took a few hits early but never flinched, standing tall in the pocket, scanning downfield like a vet. Then came the moment that flipped the stadium. Second quarter, third and long, Shedeur rolled left, dodged a sack, and fired a laser to Amari Cooper for a first down. The stadium exploded. That single play said it all. The kid belonged here. But the 49ers weren't going away quietly. Their pass rush started to swarm, and Shedeur had to fight to keep the momentum alive. Even when a tipped pass turned into an interception, he didn't hang his head. Instead, he grabbed his helmet, walked back out, and told his teammates, "We're not done yet." That clip went viral in seconds. By halftime, Cleveland was trailing, but the energy was electric. Fans could feel something building, not just a comeback, but a shift. This wasn't about surviving anymore. It was about proving that the Browns finally had a quarterback who could lead through chaos. It finally looked like the Browns offense had come alive. You could feel the rhythm kicking in, fast, confident, and explosive. Sure, the critics were quick to call that catch and run fool's gold, but inside the quarterback room, it meant something way bigger. It was proof that Shedeur Sanders could read the field, deliver the ball on time, and let his playmakers do what they do best. That's exactly what Cleveland's offense had been missing all season. And honestly, his numbers could have been even better if Jerry Jeudy hadn't coughed up the ball on what looked like another highlight-worthy catch and run off a rollout. Shedeur might have ended the day with over 250 yards and another scoring drive to his name. But stats don't always tell the full story, because anyone who watched that game saw growth, confidence, and real command of the offense. The analytics crew can pick apart his long plays all they want, but inside the Browns building, coaches and teammates saw something they hadn't felt in weeks: potential, real, tangible promise. What made Stefanski's announcement even more eye-opening was what it meant for Dillon Gabriel. Remember, Gabriel, the third-round pick, opened the season as the starter. He cleared concussion protocol after that brutal hit against the Ravens back in Week 11, the same moment that cracked the door open for Shedeur to step in during the second half and take over the following week against the Raiders. On paper, Gabriel's resume isn't bad. 59.2% completions, 937 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions across 8 games and 6 starts. Respectable, right? But the record tells a different story. The Browns went 1-4 in his 5 starts before the injury. The offense felt stuck, slow, and too predictable. By choosing to stick with Shedeur Sanders, even with Gabriel fully healthy, Stefanski made a statement loud enough for the whole league to hear. The rookie revolution in Cleveland isn't just talk anymore. Coach Kevin Stefanski made it loud and clear. This isn't a charity start, it's a real test. He's not giving out free reps. He's finding out exactly what Shedeur Sanders brings to the table. When reporters pressed him on whether Shedeur's starting job would be decided week to week, Stefanski stayed cool and focused. "I'm just gonna focus on this week, not gonna get much past this week." Total coach mode, calm words, deeper meaning. But anyone paying attention knows what's really going on underneath. The Browns are quietly accepting the truth. At 3-8, with the playoffs slipping away fast, this season isn't about chasing impossible dreams. It's about figuring out if Shedeur is the future. They can't afford to keep guessing anymore. This is the moment to find out whether the rookie can be the franchise guy Cleveland's been waiting for. And now, this story isn't just local buzz, it's national. Even before his first start, Shedeur Sanders was one of the NFL's most talked about rookies. His surprising drop to the 5th round shocked analysts who had him pegged as a top-tier quarterback prospect. And with his famous last name, the spotlight was already blinding. Being the son of Deion Sanders means every pass, every move, every word gets magnified across every major platform. So when Shedeur led the Browns to a win in his first start and walked off the field undefeated, the takes poured in fast. But one voice stood out above the noise. President Donald Trump himself. He jumped onto True Social right after the victory, taking a victory lap and writing, "I told you so," while praising the rookie's great genes. The post exploded online, turning a Cleveland sports story into a national talking point overnight. No matter where people stand politically, one thing's for sure. The world is watching Shedeur Sanders. His rise isn't just about football anymore. It's about family legacy, national attention, and the question everyone's asking, can this kid really change Cleveland's future? Every single throw from Shedeur Sanders is now a statement, a test for everyone who believed in him, everyone who doubted him, and everyone who can't see past his last name. The pressure's unreal, but Shedeur hasn't backed down from it one bit. After the Raiders game, he faced the cameras and spoke straight from the chest. "Everybody starts in different places," he said, addressing all the talk about being buried on the depth chart and missing key reps earlier in the season. "Just because I didn't get the summer reps, just because I wasn't in the best situation for me to be prepared, that's how life is. Everybody's not in the best situation, but it's no excuse. You gotta go out there and perform. There's no choice." Then came the quote that's already defining his rookie season, one that set social media on fire. "A lot of people want to see me fail," Shedeur said, eyes locked in, dead serious. "It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen." The confidence in his tone was different, controlled, fearless, and rooted in belief. Inside the Browns locker room, that energy hit hard. Teammates saw a rookie who didn't blink, even with a patchwork offensive line protecting him. He stayed calm while facing a defense that racked up 10 sacks on the Raiders, a defense that was suffocating the opponent all game long. And through it all, Shedeur never panicked. He didn't turn a rare chance into a meltdown, he turned it into a message. Players said he looked like someone who'd been in the league for years, not a rookie with only 1 week of practice with the starters. That kind of composure doesn't go unnoticed. For the fans in the dog pound, folks who've seen quarterbacks come and go like wind off Lake Erie, this feels different. A young QB with confidence, a live arm, and a bit of swagger. That's something Cleveland hasn't had in ages. Even if it doesn't end in a fairy tale, right now, it finally feels like something worth believing in. By midweek, Cleveland was buzzing louder than ever. Every sports show, every podcast, every headline, all locked on Shedeur Sanders. The city hasn't felt energy like this in years. Some fans are already calling him the spark Cleveland's been missing, while others are warning not to crown him too fast. But either way, everyone's watching, waiting to see what the rookie does next. Inside team headquarters, the vibe's different too. Players have been talking about how Shedeur has changed the whole mood. He's brought confidence back into the locker room, the kind that spreads fast. Coaches say his preparation is next level for someone so new. He shows up early, stays late, and keeps studying, one team source said. The dude wants it bad. But the pressure's stacking higher with each snap. The national media is spinning storylines faster than ever, comparing him to other young stars, debating whether he's the future or just a hot streak waiting to cool. And through it all, Shedeur keeps his cool, never letting the noise get in his head. When asked about the hype this week, he kept it simple. "I'm not chasing headlines. I'm chasing wins." That line alone got replayed on every sports network in the country. Still, everyone knows what's coming. Another huge test. The 49ers defense is no joke, and the rookie spotlight can turn blinding real fast if things go south. But for now, the Browns believe they found something special. Stefanski hasn't said much beyond, "We'll keep evaluating." But the decision to stick with Shedeur says it all. For Cleveland fans, it's about more than football. It's about hope, pride, and the dream of finally finding that guy. The kid from Colorado, who everyone thought fell too far in the draft, now has the whole league talking. And as Sunday approaches, one thing's clear. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing for a win, he's playing to prove he belongs, and he's not backing down for anyone. Sunday finally arrived, and the whole city of Cleveland was buzzing like it hadn't in years. The streets around the stadium were packed, fans wrapped in orange and brown chanting, "Shedeur, Shedeur," as if a new era was kicking off right before their eyes. You could feel the anticipation rumbling through the air. The dog pound was hungry, and all eyes were locked on the rookie leading them into battle against the powerhouse San Francisco 49ers. From the first drive, the tension was thick. The 49ers came out swinging, fast, physical, and determined to rattle the young quarterback. But Shedeur Sanders didn't blink. He stood tall, reading the defense like a vet, calling out blitzes, keeping his composure as the crowd roared behind him. Early on, he delivered a crisp sideline throw to Amari Cooper, threading it between two defenders for a first down that sent the crowd into a frenzy. It wasn't just a completion, it was a statement. Still, the Niners' defense wasn't letting up. They collapsed the pocket, forced quick decisions, and tried to drag the game into chaos. But every time they got close, Shedeur showed that coolness again. Quick release, smart reads, and total command of the moment. "You can't rattle him," one sideline reporter shouted as the camera zoomed in on the rookie walking back to the huddle with fire in his eyes. Then came the drive that changed the energy in the entire building. Late in the second quarter, third and goal from the 8-yard line. Shedeur faked a handoff, rolled right, and fired a bullet across his body to David Njoku in the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. The stadium erupted. Fans were jumping. Players were chest bumping. The rookie had just gone toe-to-toe with one of the league's best defenses and struck first. As Shedeur jogged to the sideline, calm but fired up, you could feel the moment shift. This wasn't luck. This was poise. This was growth. And for the first time in a long time, Cleveland didn't just have a quarterback playing football. They had a leader changing the entire culture right before their eyes. The second half kicked off with the kind of tension that makes every fan hold their breath. The 49ers came out angry, blitzing, hitting, and trying to break the Browns' rhythm fast. The scoreboard was tight, and every possession felt like a war. Cleveland's defense was grinding, holding on, but it was clear this one was going to come down to whether Shedeur Sanders could handle the fire when it mattered most. Early in the third quarter, the rookie got tested. A tipped pass turned into an interception deep in Browns territory, and the stadium went silent for a moment. The 49ers punched it in for a touchdown, flipping the lead and flipping the energy. For a split second, you could feel that old Cleveland doubt creeping back in, fans wondering if the fairy tale was about to end. But Shedeur, he didn't sulk. He grabbed his helmet, strapped it on, and went straight back to the field like a man on a mission. The next drive told you everything about who this kid really is. Under pressure, with defenders in his face, Shedeur started carving up the Niners' secondary. Quick slants, rollouts, sidearm flicks, the whole package. His poise never cracked. On a crucial 3rd and 8, he stepped up, dodged a rusher, and fired a rocket to Jerry Jeudy over the middle. First down, the crowd exploded back to life. Drive after drive, Shedeur kept answering the challenge, refusing to let the game slip away. Then, late in the fourth quarter, with Cleveland trailing by 4, he led a 78-yard march down the field. Every throw had purpose, every decision screamed confidence. And when he capped it off with a perfect strike to Elijah Moore for a go-ahead touchdown, the stadium shook like it hadn't in decades. The sideline went wild. Stefanski shouting, players mobbing Shedeur, the fans chanting his name so loud it drowned out the broadcast feed. This wasn't just another rookie performance, it was a coming out party. No matter how the final minutes played out, one thing was clear. Shedeur Sanders had earned every ounce of respect that night. He didn't just survive the 49ers, he stood toe-to-toe with them and proved he belongs. That's exactly what makes this second start so important. Last week's win over Las Vegas was just the preview. This showdown with the San Francisco 49ers is the first real chapter of the Shedeur Sanders era in Cleveland. The Raiders gave him a taste of success, but the 49ers, they're a whole different beast. Their defense doesn't just play fast, it attacks. They bring relentless pass rushes, sneaky coverages, and a front line that punishes even a half second of hesitation. If the Raiders were the warm-up test, San Francisco is the full-on stress test. This is where the pocket collapses faster, the reads get sharper, and every mistake can turn into points for the other side before you can blink. Either Shedeur rises with another week of first-team reps and a game plan built around his strengths, or the league punches back, forcing Cleveland to face some harsh truth about where this young QB really stands. The Browns know it, Shedeur knows it, and Coach Stefanski definitely knows it. To win is crazy, it's amazing, Shedeur told CBS after the game in Las Vegas. After 1 week of practice, you know what I mean? This was 1 week of practice, so imagine what a full offseason looks like. It gets dangerous. That quote sent chills through Cleveland. You could hear the confidence, but also the warning. If this is what he can do now, what happens once he's fully built for it? Right now, the Browns don't need to think about the offseason. They just need to see what one more week looks like, then another, then maybe a stretch that finally gives them answers they've been searching for decades. Is Shedeur Sanders more than just a feel-good story? Or is he the quarterback who can finally break the curse? In what's become a lost season on paper, the stakes have quietly shifted. Every single snap Shedeur takes against the 49ers isn't just another play. It's another data point in Cleveland's endless hunt for stability under center. And this time, it feels like they might finally be onto something real. Cleveland's front office knows the clock is ticking. Before long, they'll have to sit down and compare Shedeur Sanders' growing body of work to Dillon Gabriel's, weigh both against the idea of bringing in a seasoned veteran and decide whether to chase another rookie in the 2026 NFL Draft. But if Shedeur keeps showing off that smooth, deep ball, that cool pocket presence, and that fearless attitude when the cameras are rolling, he can flip the entire equation. If he struggles, it's not a total loss. He's still giving the Browns something they haven't had in years, a new perspective and a different ceiling to evaluate. That's why benching him now would have been a huge mistake. The Browns don't just need a quarterback, they need answers. And with one win and a full week as QB1 behind him, Shedeur remains their best shot at finding them. So when the San Francisco 49ers march into Cleveland and the dog pound shakes the ground with noise, this won't be just another game in a disappointing season. This is the next chapter in a high-stakes audition. The continuation of a story that started with a shocking draft night slide and has now turned into something much bigger. Shedeur Sanders, number 12, will jog out of that tunnel again with the weight of an entire franchise on his shoulders and a city daring to believe. For the first time in a long time, Cleveland fans can finally whisper what they've been scared to say for decades. Maybe, just maybe, they're watching the beginning of an answer. And if you've been hooked on this wild Cleveland story, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment on what you think comes next for Shedeur and the Browns. Your thoughts keep the fire going. We'll catch you in the next one because this story, it's just getting started.